Are we good?
Woo! We're live.
All right, we're live.
I gotta move over. Jack's signal.
God, what do you mean? Welcome back to Stand United with Jack and Dennis. Before we get into the show, as we always do, let's stand for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whee! I wish every show would do that.
Huh?
I wish Hannity and those guys would do that.
Who?
Hannity. That show Hannity guy and Tucker. Those clowns.
Yeah.
So Jack, welcome back.
Yay! I had a good time last
You had
week.
a good time in Delaware?
Yeah.
In the liberal state? Mike did a great job with your filming.
Jack and Mike did a great job. So did you. Anchoring the old show.
Listen, Junior always does a good job.
Nice anchoring.
He's a celebrity now.
Yeah, he is. Everywhere we go.
So Mike's not with us tonight. He's got a little under the weather. Got a toothache or something.
That's what happens when you get old.
Lucky's got teeth.
Mm.
Great job, Mike. And we hope you had a speedy recovery. And we look forward to being with us next week. So just a couple things before we go on. If you get off around 5:30 at night, you're driving home, you got nothing to do, you can always look us up on our podcast. It's called Stand United with Jack and Dennis for your enjoyment ride home.
Adds to your road rage.
Yeah, after the road rage. So this YouTube live starts at 7 o'clock. We're also on United States Constitutional Group on Facebook. That's our big group.
Yep. It's a good group.
So join that. We have a lot of people that put good information on there.
Yep.
So check us out on a channel you like.
Jack and Margaret do a good job on that.
You know, if you like, and our webpage is fedupwithpolitics.com. It's right back there.
That's a good one.
See it. If you're wondering what this is right here, that's Jack's little project. He's going to show you in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
A little 5-minute video I want you to watch. And we'll go from there. So I want to upgrade. I want to update everyone on our book called Politicians Gaslighting Americans. We received our copyright right there, so no one can use our book.
Woohoo! Unless you buy it, then you can use it all you want.
Yeah, but the copyright people can't use it.
No, copyright.
Yeah, the uncopyrights.
Look at that. Look at the paper. Nice.
I got that. It came from the Library of Congress, and I was like worried. I got something from the Library of Congress. What the heck's going on?
You got to frame that.
I'm gonna. So we're very happy we got that, and we're moving along and publishing it. We narrowed it down to 2 publishers, Dorrance and Page Publishing. My friend Madeline, she's checking out the paperwork for me, see which one works better for us, and I trust her. Trust her a lot. We're gonna pick the one that benefits all of us. Remember, the book was writing, including your comments. Citizens of this country need to read. Our politicians need to read.
Yeah, you're going to find that out in a minute.
Yeah, you're going to find out when you listen to it, when you watch this little video right here.
Embarrassment.
So hopefully by next Thursday, we'll give you an update of which publisher we chose.
Next week, too, I'm hoping. I'm working on a platform for the United States, the Independent Constitutional Party that we're formulating, getting on in South Carolina. But I would also like to try and work on my little blurb that my little speech that you're going to have to do every time you get in front of everybody and start talking and explain what we're here, paraphrasing, footnotes,
Right.
Whatever you want to call it. Maybe I can get that done, read it, get some feedback from the folks that watch this show, because we're doing it for you folks.
We have to do a second podcast just on Independent Constitutional Party stuff.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, because this is not lengthy, but it's nice to read and explain. But I'm working on that. That should be done. Dennis and Margaret had given me a lot of feedback on the original one. I had put it on the shelf for a while, and now it's back off the shelf, and it goes everywhere I go because that's the way my brain works. A little bit at a time.
Hey, so join our United States Constitutional Group on Facebook if you're not a member. That's where we do a lot of our posting. Please join us there. So let's get started. So I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of hearing about Trump and whether or not he'll be arrested. It's way getting out of control. I don't think these Democrats really have any clue about the repercussions of charging a president of the U.S. with a crime.
And a crime that is no longer the statute of limitations is gone.
Yeah.
It was over 2 years after the alleged crime was committed.
Because it was a misdemeanor. Felonies 5 years. So if they do arrest him, this will be the first time ever that would happen in our country. It's going to open up a free for all for all future presidents. Because Biden ain't no saint. Obama wasn't no saint.
But I think it's going to open up any president.
George Bush wasn't no saint. Bill Clinton wasn't no saint.
Yeah. Bill Clinton wasn't a saint?
No.
I think you're wrong on that.
You know, are these people above the law? Absolutely not. No, they say he violated campaign finance laws. They all do it. We can show you politicians on both sides of the aisle that have violated this law, and we've talked about it in the past. And what happens to them? A slap in the wrist that they usually miss.
Right.
They miss
Because
the
they go
wrist.
like this. All right. Nah, I don't want you to do that.
They don't want to hurt their little sissy fingers.
I just got my manicure done.
The left is so scared of this one man. They will
So is the right, though.
destroy him. Right, you're right.
The administrative state is afraid of a guy like Trump.
And if you haven't figured this out, it's not about Trump at all. Politicians are trying to control the citizens of this United States with a scare tactic. We can get him, we can get you.
You think it's a scare tactic? You think it's a scare tactic, or are they actually
doing it
accomplishing the tactic?
You know, if we can take out your president, imagine what we can do to you.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Do you really believe that they care he paid off some, well, I don't know what she was, movie star, hooker, porn star, I don't know.
Well, the thing of it is, you know, we don't know because we don't have loads of money. But there's two things that wealthy people have, and that is payoff money, because there's always somebody look, he ran me over, or sexual harassment, whatever it is, and they also have insurance on their family members for kidnapping. And the kidnapping insurance started with Frank Sinatra when his son got kidnapped.
Nice.
After that, the insurance company says, "Hey, we can do something about that."
You know, did he pay off Stormy Daniels? Yeah, I'm sure he did. But he's not the only one guilty. John Edwards in 2010 or 12, he was running for president on the Democratic side. He paid off a mistress he had a child with, paid her more than $1 million out of his campaign funds. He got off on that. Bill Clinton was running. He also paid $850,000 in hush money on some hooker he was trying to keep quiet.
He killed the rest, though.
That don't make him a bad guy.
No.
Listen, these politicians acted very dumb. And most should not be anything but a civil trial between him and the little girl. Or if you're in a guy, you're in a guy.
Mm.
You know? The ones who should be upset, you know who they are, Jack? We the people.
Mm.
We the people should be the ones that are pissed off that our money is being paid to pay off, I'll be nice, prostitutes. To help them get reelected.
These guys, man, it's so frustrating. They have a lot of work to do.
They have tons.
And this is what's sidetracking it.
They can't get anything done. And Jack will show you in a little while. You know, when he has this, what are you putting on there? A little video of Rand Paul.
Yeah, well, it's not just Rand Paul, it's this whole committee that all of these idiots belong to.
You know, why is my money being used to pay off people to keep them silent? Blame ourselves, folks. I mean, not me, because I don't give money to campaigns.
Well,
no politicians, they don't deserve it.
That is the worst investment ever.
Everyone who's brainwashed that gave money to any candidate that uses campaign money for that, babysitting, helping their family members, like giving them jobs, Maxine Waters, I'm sure Chucky Schumer, Eric Swalwell, with his babysitting thing, thousands and thousands of dollars past the campaign cycle. There's members on the Republican side, just as corrupt, evil idiots, with the money you donate to them to get them elected.
Well, again, has anybody donated any money to you to get a job?
Nope.
And then after they get the job, they don't pay you back?
You know, they still don't pay us back.
No.
You know, do we even know where the donations are going? They're supposed to submit campaign finance with whatever they use out of what they come in, what they take in, and what they send out to people. They know the Elections Commission doesn't have the people to monitor this, so they wait months and months before they even turn in. Where us, we forget and think, we won't remember. That was months ago. We don't care about that now. Mm-hmm. We should care. Are people really that naive?
Well, the guy that ran in New York and lied about everything.
Which one?
The newest one. He overthrew somebody from the Democratic Party. I forget what his name is. They're all mad because they're not mad because he lied. He's mad because after he got elected, he said, "I lied." They were like, "Are you insane? You don't tell anybody. You don't tell them we lied."
Yeah, that's on our Facebook page for Politician Hall of Shame. I remember him. Mm-hmm. Stop being followers, people. Be a leader. Take control of your own money. Don't send them to these clowns. When one of these clowns asks you for money, tell them when you reform campaign finance, all their laws, you'll gladly help them get elected then. The money will not be used to pay for a babysitter or a vacation for their family, where they give 10-minute speeches at some club, some country club they have nothing about. Your money is being paid for vacations for not only for politicians, but their families. This shit should piss you off that they're doing this. Hard-earned money that you make, these clowns are using it for whatever they want. Or better yet, don't trust these politicians. Don't give them any of your money that you worked hard for. Jack, don't give them anything. I don't give them anything. I know a lot of other people don't give them anything.
You know what I give them? Advice.
Oh, that was a finger.
Sometimes that's the advice.
Like Jack said earlier, the statute of limitations has run out. It's 2 years on a misdemeanor, 5 years on a felony. It's done. This DA in Manhattan is a moron.
Briggs.
Right, Briggs.
He's a George Soros bought and paid for puppet.
Again, when the statute of limitations has run out, you cannot charge someone with a crime. This is unprecedented territory. This politicians and this district attorney from New York, the most liberal state next to California, will pay a costly mistake for their headhunting of this past president. I want to talk about Trump protesters out there. Your protest must be peaceful. This is not a time for violence. Save that for another civil war. When politicians try to divide us into two countries. The red states of America and the blue states of America. Otherwise, the Republican states and the Democratic states. We must not let them divide us with this sectionalism that they're driving down our throats. Not only sectionalism, but racism. We must stand together. Stand united now. Divided states of America, we can never survive. We've said that over and over again.
A house divided cannot stand.
We tell you every week that the time is now. Being united is the only time we beat politicians. The only way. We need to rise up, be heard, but we must do it peacefully. And it starts with every one of you out there. Jack? All
right, so please, if anybody has any idea on how many years me and Dennis has been saying, we even give you 46% of the elected officials in this country don't know that the Constitution of the United States is the law of the land. They do not know the rules. They do not know the laws. They don't know what they're doing. And here, I'm going to show you the proof. Here is a committee. It's a subcommittee. Homeland Security Committee holds meeting to consider nomination bills. March 15, 2023. It was this month, this year.
A week ago.
It's Rand Paul, the chairman of the subcommittee, I don't know what his name is, and Senator Sinema from Arizona. There's other senators, I forget what his name is. He's a good senator, he's a Republican. But there's other ones. You see them all sitting in that, and then there's the crowd. Now, when this goes on, I want you to see the committee chairman, the guy in the middle, has two bureaucrats whispering in his ear the whole time. Sinema, all the way to the right, right there, she's pointing at the crowd, saying people know the rules of this committee. Why don't we just ask them? Go ahead.
This is Rand Paul.
Yep.
So here we go. Come on. Uh-oh. What happened, Junior?
That's last night's dinner.
What happened, Junior?
I think you went forwards instead.
Oh, man.
Skip. Just push skip. See skip?
Skip. Oh, Skip.
On September 12th and November 7th of last year, I sent letters to the State Department asking for records about coronavirus research that had been funded by the State Department. The State Department refused to comply. When Assistant Secretary Sherman came, I asked her the same question.
Oh, no, yeah, this is a different one. You gotta go back small again.
Talk to the people.
Talk to the people. All right, we made a tactical error. We gotta go back. Just hit that arrow. See that arrow? The arrow.
Push back.
The arrow up there, right there. There it is. Okay, dokie. We're gonna try this again, folks.
Now proceed to consideration of Scott.
I'm putting a complaint into the IT office.
Screen bigger.
The underlying bill authorizes $15.7 billion over the next 7 years and increases the current levels by $130 billion for the fire administration and $343 million for the fire grants programs, for a total increase of about $500 million. The overall program is about $15 billion, but this is not an inconsequential amount of money in an era where we have over $1 trillion budgets. I'd like to
Notice he's looking back to his staff member.
He doesn't. He constantly actually
replace
stays
the
for help.
Scott amendment with the
It's his
second
amendment.
amendment, which would be identical to the language of Paul Amendment 3. Paul Amendment 3 is the vaccine amendment, and earlier.
For a moment.
So I still have the debate time. I'm still arguing my case. So earlier, the chair replaced my amendment with a secondary amendment because they were playing basically a legislative sort of prank on the American public. So the other side wouldn't have to vote directly on a vaccine amendment. So basically, we will do exactly the same thing and offer a second-degree amendment to the Scott amendment. And this amendment will be my Amendment 3, which says that fire houses that fired people for vaccines would not be eligible for grants. The request a recorded vote.
He didn't. Yeah, it's Amendment 2. It's Amendment 3. He doesn't know. His staff didn't tell him.
I also have a second-degree amendment, and I recognize myself to offer a second-degree amendment. My second-degree amendment would direct GAO to issue an audit of the U.S. Fire Administration within 3 years of enactment to continue improving.
Point of inquiry. We have unlimited second-degree amendments?
We have a second-degree amendment. I've recognized myself for my second-degree amendment.
Your second-degree amendment to a second-degree amendment.
No, it's a second-deggreee amendment is being offered.
There's the bureaucrat. See him with his mask on?
No, I already called up a second-degree amendment to the Scott amendment.
There it is.
You
Never
can't
loses
call it
his
up,
job.
Senator. Only the chair can call it up.
Well, I was recognized to call it up the same way we have recognized for every other amendment. You recognized me and I called it up.
You recognize to call it for a vote. Only the chair can do that.
It's Senator Peters.
Well, I was recognized to introduce an amendment, and I introduced a second-degree amendment. I don't know how you can stop that or decide that the rules are that you can do.
The chair can call up the amendments as the chair sees fit, and my second-degree amendment is being called up.
After my second-degree amendment had already been called up. So you're
It had not been called up.
Who's on first? I don't know.
It has not been called up.
Well, sure you are.
I am offering an amendment to the
And I would say,
Scott
if
amendment.
this is the way you're gonna run the committee, I would suggest that the Republicans leave. I don't see why we should stick around if you're gonna make up the ruls. I mean, you can offer a third-degree amendment.
Mr. Chairman, these are not.
Chair,
Senator Sinema.
Mr. Chair, might I humbly suggest that
Look at the
we
bureaucrat.
can work through these procedural issues to take all of the votes. And I would just suggest we all take a couple minutes, lower the temperature, and just figure out what the procedure is and follow it. There's no need
Figure it
for
out.
us to turn this committee
She's
hearing
the adult in the room. Oh my
into-
goodness.
a partisan, ugly place like we've seen in other committees. We don't need to do that.
This is the first time we've had a hearing since I've been here that I know of where we've gotten second-degree amendments on every one of our amendments to avoid voting on the amendment. So we simply have done the same thing by offering a second-degree amendment to the Scott amendment. It was offered from this microphone after I was recognized to offer it. and now they're going back on it and trying to change the rules. I, for one, won't stay here, and we recommend that no Republicans stay here if we're gonna have a third-degree amendment that only the majority gets
Well,
to.
Senator Paul, might I suggest that we just take a moment, ask those who understand the rules of the committee
Ask
to just
those.
explain it to all of us. And then we'll
Explain it to them, the
We don't
committee
have
members.
We don't have to escalate this to a situation where folks are walking out. We can just ask folks who can explain the rules to us, and then we'll follow them. I think
Who
we
will
can
we
do that.
ask? Just the majority staff?
No, let's consult with folks. I mean, the rules of the committee are written down. We can follow them.
They're written down.
I
We
just
don't know them, but they're written
don't
down.
think that we don't need to escalate this to become a spectacle. Everyone can have their votes and we can move forward.
Okay, that's it. So here we are, folks. Here's the committee, from the chairman down. Nobody knows the rules of the committee. This is what they do for a living. We pay them.
What is the
100
real story of January 6th?
Hold on.
We pay them $174,000 a year to do that. They belong to a committee. I'm going to look up to see how many years these senators have been on this committee. And they don't know the bylaws to their own committee. She's sitting there. She's the adult in the room. Cinema. Going like this. We have people here that know the rules. These people know the rules. These people that are making the votes and making the laws, they don't know the laws. They don't know the rules.
We've been telling people that for
They don't know the rules of the committee they're
a long
sitting on.
time.
I mean, you get put on a committee. What's the first thing you would do? Let me see what am I allowed to do? Let me see what this is. Am I even interested in this?
What rules is?
I mean, what are we doing, folks? We're paying these people. They don't know the rules of the committee that they're saying. They cannot even conduct a vote. It ended up, Rand Paul left. I think one or two senators voted. The rest of them left. And it was passed because the majority was the Democrats and they got what they wanted. We have been saying this for years. The people we elect do not know the law of the land, and they don't even know the bylaws of the committees that they belong to. So it's not even, it's a small, and I'm sure every one of the committee rooms look the same, set up the same, some are bigger, some are smaller. So all of these committees got to have the same bylaws. They're committees. These are subcommittees, committees. This is what we're paying them to do, and they don't know the rules.
That spectacle we just saw is a shame. They should be ashamed of themselves.
That right there,
They have
folks,
failed the American people again.
there's your taxpayers. There's your tax dollar hard at work. That's them working. That's them working. They probably sat in there for a half an hour to an hour, maybe 2 hours. You know, they'll sit in there all day if they know that they can ask questions and they'll get TV time. They'll stay there 15 hours. They don't care. They'll get nothing accomplished. You can go right on YouTube. Rand Paul, just type in Rand Paul, why are Republicans here? Whoop, watch it. It's 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Right after that, it gets quiet. There's nothing being done. Rand Paul leaves. He comes back on, the chairman, and says, I'm putting this in, and they vote.
The quiet time is when they talk to the people who know the rules.
The bureaucrats. The bureaucrats that we didn't elect, that never lose their job, get paid $160,000 a year with a pension and benefits for the rest of their life.
Yep.
In that room is millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars
Wasted.
going to salaries, pensions, and benefits,
Wasted time.
and they don't even know the rules.
It's a waste.
Come on, folks. Read the Constitution. Start knowing who you're electing. These are the people you're electing. Rand Paul is supposed to be a smart guy. He's a doctor. He's a doctor.
You have to be smart to be doctor.
Listen, if you had a doctor that didn't understand his trade as a doctor, would you go to him anymore? Well, I got to do surgery on you, but I'm going to ask the people that know how to do the surgery how to do it, and then we'll do it. It'll be fine. No problem. Okay, let me lay down.
It's crazy. These people should be thrown out of office today.
I tell you, folks, that should out. I mean, that's just crazy.
So the economy is heading into a Bermuda Triangle of risk that will bring on a crisis to rival 2008. Dr. Doom economist Nori Bini says, they say this economy is going to drop 30%. It's going to drop 30% very soon. We're going to go into into a recession.
We're in a recession.
Yeah.
When you're paying $10 for a dozen of eggs, you're in a
I
recession.
think I don't like eggs that much.
What did Reagan say? Reagan's old saying was, when your neighbor loses his job, we're in a recession. When you lose your job, you're in a depression.
So let's talk about our president's job approval rating, which came out today. Number one, numbers don't lie. So here we go. Drum roll, please. 38% of people surveyed said they approve of the job he's doing. 38%.
They all live in a nursing home.
They do too. His lowest rating was 36% last July. Stay tuned. It's going to get lower soon.
I believe so.
The way this economy's going. And this is no brainer. We figured this out. 76% of Democrats say he's doing a great job. Like I said, we kind of figured that. But for Democrats under 45, he's only at 66%. So he's losing to people. Just talked about the economy. We're going into crisis here. His numbers are extremely low.
You know why under
31%.
45, 66%? Probably because that 10% don't know who he is.
Right? 31% on the economy, people trust him. Independents are losing their patience with him. And a lot of times, they determine who will be our next president.
That's why the Democrats are jumping. A lot of Democrats are leaving the Democratic Party and becoming independents so they can run both parties.
So my question to you is this, Jack. Should he run for president again?
Well, I keep thinking it would have been nice if he ran the first time.
He came out of his basement?
Yeah, it would have been good to see him run the first time. You know, I don't know if he can run the second time. I didn't see him run the first time.
I think he should run. I mean, we call him forget a lot for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
You know?
we forget.
We forget. He'll be 82 years old. And even if he campaigns, that will be a miracle.
Yeah,
If he goes on a campaign trail, that'll be a miracle. Instead of Basement Joe, he'll be Bunker Joe.
Bunker Joe.
He'll be so locked down.
He'll be so far Moab bomb can't get him.
That's right. I don't think people will appreciate that this time around. And if he did debate, he would have no clue what he was saying.
I don't think he'll debate.
More than he mumbles now. I don't think he will either.
I would, if he does debate though, I would like to take side bets on this podcast live and see if we can figure out how long he's going to stand there and stare at the camera with that crazy look on his face without saying anything.
That's a good one. We should, Jack.
Go ahead, Jack.
Margaret says he ran from a basement.
Yeah, he ran
He
from
ran from
his
his
basement.
basement.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had one of those chairlifts. He must have run out of batteries when he got to the bottom. You know, was able to get back up.
I believe he would make a fool of himself. And people would really get to see how bad he is. Really, really is.
I don't know if they let him.
Including his media cronies.
They're
But they're still going to back him.
They're working on that right now.
You know, even progressives have launched an anti-Biden 2024 campaign, and that's bad.
Mm.
I say let him run. Let him be the embarrassment to our great country.
I mean, who else are they going to have run?
They
We
can't have
said,
Kamala Harris run. She's worse off than him.
I mean, the Democratic Party has no bench. The
Pete
Republicans.
Buttigieg,
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's the one.
and look at the job he's doing as transportation secretary.
No, he's doing great. Excellent. He'll tell you.
No.
He's doing so good. He has to keep taking time off. Every crisis, I got to take time off. See you later.
But I want to get your opinion on the Biden family scandal. We've all heard about the Ukraine-China deals and the money that was sent back to the Bidens. There's emails to prove it happened. So I want to hear people say it's false, it never occurred. Bullshit, it did. I want to see how you feel what these congressional morons are going to do. What are these hearings going to accomplish? Is it just for show? Or will these so-called Republicans accomplish anything?
No, they're not going to accomplish anything. And I think we should start doing this a little bit more. We'll show more and more of these committees, especially with the ones with that have a little teeth for the Republicans down in the House of Representatives, where they have the majority. You will see them go through these hearings, and at the end, they'll be stomping their feet, and all of a sudden, the next topic comes.
That's right.
What happened to the last topic?
Yeah.
What last topic? We're on the next topic now. I got to talk about. I got my head done. I'm on TV.
No, people forget about that already.
Yeah. So they won't do anything.
No, I think they're going to drag this out until the next presidential election. They're going to try and rally the Republican base It's not going to go anywhere. Most of these Republicans are rhinos, Republican in name only.
There was one that wasn't. He's out of office now. I'm reading his book now. Don't give an inch. Never give an inch. Mike Pompeo. He was a representative from Kansas. He ran. He got elected the last time, and him and his wife decided when he's done with this, it'll be 8 years. They're going to go back home. He's going to go back to work. He owned a machine shop, and he was going to live in Kansas and go back to his life. And then Trump had called him up to be the CIA director because he wanted to be part of the Intel committee. And every single day he stayed in that top secret room. He knew so many CIA agents that were debriefing him in that room. He knew more intel than the Intel committee did. And it was America first. He was a true patriot. He graduated #1 in his class in, what's that school?
West Point.
West Point. You know, he did 4 years. He was, a platoon commander. But he's gone. You know, he's out of office now. So, and he was never gonna. After that 2 years, he was gonna go anyway. So, but that's what a true patriot does. I did my time. I served my time.
Time to
I'm
get out.
going back home. I'm gonna
Let
go live
someone
by
else-
the laws that I passed in the 8
Let
years.
someone else take it over.
Yep.
You know, politicians in general, Democrats and Republicans, refuse to help this economy grow.
Mm-mm.
They don't care about crime. They don't care about healthcare. They sure as hell don't care about Social Security
Mm-mm.
or anything but getting their party members elected. That's all they care about. They're tyrants. We've said it over and over again every week. They don't care about people anymore. They feel we can be controlled, and they're proving that we can.
Yes.
You know, not one Biden family member will ever be indicted, nor will Biden be impeached. I'll be very surprised if they do.
Nah, they won't.
But I think the money's on. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to drag it out till the next election.
He's already cleared himself.
You know, Democrats could care less if he's a crook. They know Republicans are also dirty. So why should they even care? Why would I care? Why would I care if Trump's a crook? Like Democrats do it.
Well, they care about Trump because he's
He's going to
exposing
take
it.
down.
Yeah, he's the anti-administrative guy. Can't have that. You know, I mean, you get a guy that was a self-made guy. He's a billionaire. He was the only guy that didn't need the job, like he said. And
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
Donate
I mean,
all
you got-
salary to charity.
I mean, if you were against the administrative state, you're dead.
And you'll get into that in a minute. We should call them one party, the tyrant party, because they are all corrupt and evil. You know, Jack wants to talk about the banking industry. This will roll into what we gotta say here.
I don't know a lot about the bank industry. I don't have a lot of money. I don't do a lot of investments. I don't do a lot. You know, I live day by day. But this is what I've had. This is what I've seen being reported. And you know, we're going to talk about that SVP bank the most. And the number one problem that started, there was many layers of problems why that bank went out. But the one biggest one was they bought U.S. bonds. They bought 10-year yields, and they bought them at an interest rate that was low, and the interest rates went up 5% in 1 year. Deposits were starting to collect 5% a year. Their yields were low for 10 years, and so they were gaining very little on one side and paying out a lot on the other side, and for the deposits. Later on, it says that Senator Cotton from Arkansas said he heard that the Chinese investors that were in that bank, in SVB, they're going to be repaid now. And the administration said that all the bank accounts can be covered for the Chinese, but the Chinese are first before the Americans, and then the rest of them aren't going to be covered. So all of this dangerous action against the American, these people are not allies. You know, they are not competitors. They are
Adversaries.
they're our enemies. No doubt about it that the United States government is now being weaponized against all. I say this because for decades the government's been attacking the average guy through environmental, the IRS. They've been destroying small businesses. They've been destroying lives. Well, now they're destroying everybody that's against the administrative state. And the number one guy to show everybody else, all of us have been like, I mean, I got audited. I owed taxes when I ran my business. It was a horrible feeling. It was really intimidating. And now they're saying, yeah, not only can we crush you, but we're going to crush this guy. He used to be the president of the United States. He's a billionaire, and we're going to destroy him. They don't want They don't want to hurt this. They want to destroy his entire family and generations to come. There was a Professor William Silver. He talks. He wrote a book, and it talks about a Hail Mary, and that's just what it says. It's an action you take with nothing to lose because you already lost. That's what a Hail Mary is. You throw the Hail Mary because you know the game's lost, and you have nothing to lose.
That's right.
So you throw it. And what's that? What they call that in the economics is downside protection. And now you can take the risk. And when you have the Hail Mary and you have the downside protection, that causes what they call moral hazard. And this is the point. Our entire government, the entire federal government is now playing the Hail Mary with the downside protection causing moral hazard against us, the American taxpayer, because we always end up the losers and we pay the bills, and we're starting to pay so much for our politicians' Hail Marys, we can't afford to pay anymore. And the moral hazard is the trade-off from freedom to socialism.
I hate that the federal government tells us what they think we should make.
Yeah, well, that's what socialism does.
You know?
So they have this downside protection. So they have no risk. So they just keep throwing bombs. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
And we end up, the taxpayer, flipping the bill.
Yeah.
And so what does it cause? It causes moral hazards. You know,
Say you make $37,000, they're gonna tell you, oh, the girls will make $33,000. So we're gonna take $4,000 away from you and your taxes. That's ridiculous, folks. We pay enough taxes all year long.
You pay so many taxes between state, county, sales, local, federal, taxes on your gases. You are not, your dollar is zero. You are going into the negative before you walk out your front door.
On top of that, with these banks and these companies, they're charging you 3% on your credit card every time you use it at one of these places. You should use cash if you can.
And you know what? You got certain places like Philadelphia, it is
Right.
against the law to use cash. You're not allowed to use cash. Why are you not allowed to use cash? Because you don't get the 3% given to these federal banks.
Why should we give them 3%?
Yep.
We're doing them a favor by going to the restaurant.
Yeah.
They want to charge us an extra 3% on top of the $15, $16. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said she went out to Myrtle's Inlet. Myrtle's Inlet, our go-to spot down here in Myrtle Beach.
Yes, they got a little restaurant row.
Restaurant row. It's really good. Good bands.
Mm.
She said it cost her $47 for a salad and 2 drinks.
Wow. I hope the drinks were big.
I hope so.
Mm.
$47. That's what she had to pay. She wasn't very happy. So I'll never go to that place again.
I tell you what, with these Hail Marys and this moral hazard that we have, we're losing our freedoms.
We are.
And I could list a few of them if you like.
You know, I know you're going to talk about something where Saul Alinsky's involved.
So Saul Alinsky is part of losing our judiciary rights. Saul Alinsky owns, operates, Bragg in New York, Philadelphia, LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Denver, Houston. He owns all of these district attorneys. All of this. This is going to be Atlanta.
New York.
Trump is going to get another indictment in Atlanta for the election. But you're losing your freedoms. Number one, energy independence. We lost that. You can't even say what kind of car you want to buy. They want you to buy an electric car, period, the end.
Wasn't that a song? It's electric.
Yes, it was a good song.
I thought so.
They had to dance with it too. My wife
I
likes
think they did that.
My wife likes to dance.
I can dance. If I
Yeah,
want to,
okay.
If I want to.
Okay, and while you're sleeping.
Yeah, when it's napping.
Yeah. You're losing
You
your
shush.
healthcare. We talked about that. There's no independent news agency, so you lost that.
Man, if we had money, Jack, we'd be starting one.
Yeah. And like I just said, you're losing the judiciary. Ask the parents of Virginia when they talked out against their school boards, and the entire
DOJ.
the entire Department of Justice went after these people for talking about
Terrorists.
they were terrorists. You're cooking dinner, you're getting things ready for homework, and hello, it's the FBI. What? What I tell you? I just went to the
You
PTA
can't
meeting
interact.
yesterday.
You can't say anything about school board meetings.
Yeah, you can't say anything. You know, and that was all to get the governor elected. That was a Democrat, but thank God he didn't. And financials. Financially, we know it's hard to survive. Well, Yellen just announced that the federal government will bail out certain banks when they fail. So what does that mean? So that means,
Mom and pop banks are going to go out of business.
yeah, if you own a bank in Texas and you gave loans out to fossil fuel companies and you failed, you're not getting. But SVB, who did green energy stuff, yeah, so they're gonna pick and choose who gets that. Now this banking failure, when banks fail all the time. Another private bank will buy them, buys all of their debt, buys all of their assets, buys everything, buys all the responsibility. We don't have to worry about
They
it.
change the name.
They change the name. They might add the name together. Whatever they do.
They move on.
So it wasn't the regulations that made this bank fail. It was the examiners. The examiners didn't examine this bank's books. And in the San Francisco Fed, the federal government, the Fed bank is divided up all through the country. And in certain places, they cover a couple of states here and there. Well, for this bank in California, the Fed chairperson, Mary Galley, she's in San Francisco, she never inspected their books, because if she would have inspected the books, so when they bought these yields,
She's a complete failure.
yeah, when they bought these yields, in the side note, it says the profit that they're supposed to make on the interest, but they sold it before it matured, so they never got it. But in the side note, in the footnote, it said they got it. So that's how the CEOs all got their bonuses. So if she would have just examined the books of that bank, which is her job, that's what she's there for.
Again, she failed us.
She would have said, "Whoa, what are you doing? You can't do this. You're not allowed to do this." Even the Bernie Frank regulations, they're saying that Trump stopped that. Bernie was a retired representative. He's a chairman for another bank that failed, and he said the Bernie Frank bill did not cause the failure of these banks. He was a liberal Massachusetts representative in Congress, was a chairman of one of these banks that failed, and he said it wasn't our bill that did it. It was the examiners that did it. And here's another big thing that you are losing your right to protest or assemble. Your right to speak out against your government is gone. And as we always like to say, it's on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Republican House Speaker McCarthy says he doesn't believe a protest about Trump's trial in New York should go. He says you shouldn't go because the protest can cause outrages. So in other words, what he's saying is, don't go protest, because the liberal media is going to take it, change the story, turn it into a lie. All you folks are going to be in trouble for it, and you're going to get arrested just like January 6th.
Well, you know what? You, Representative McCarthy, you need to be on every news channel and tell people we've got your back. You have a right for free speech. You have a right to protest.
You're allowed to
Stop
protest.
being a freaking coward like the rest of you freaking clowns we have in class and whatever that place is called.
So
Congress.
So basically what he's saying is, listen, don't talk back to your government, though. Woo! So is he saying that? So because he's just like the rest of DC? Maybe if I say this, we'll stamp it down, nobody will protest, they'll go along to get along, like the rest of Washington, D.C.? Or does he truly believe it? How can you tell a group of people, 73 million backers that voted for Trump, now they want to indict him on a case where the statute of limitations has expired, and then this guy, a Republican, tells people, don't protest a president that was under his same party.
It's only ruin our chances for next year.
Right, next year again. It's always next year. Kick the can. If we string them along, they'll keep paying us.
Hey, we have the majority, but we need 10 more people in office to have a little bit more majority. And the next time, we don't have enough people. We need 10 more. And then we need the super majority. It's all a game, folks. Wake up. Wake up.
I mean, just realize you are losing to socialism, your healthcare, your education, You help, now the news, financial's gone now because they're
They want to censor news.
yeah. I mean, Schumer on the Senate floor, said news should be censored. A U.S. citizen, Senate, telling the United States your news should be censored
Because they don't like what
over a story he didn't like.
they don't like what's being put out there, the truth.
And McCarthy telling outraged Americans about a case that shouldn't see the light of day.
Not the protest.
Don't go protest against this. Do not go protest against this.
Yep. So we're just about out of time. Have anything to add to that?
Oh, do I have something to add? No. Listen, the road to socialism, that ball is rolling real
It's coming
fast.
close. Coming quick.
It's really rolling. It's going down. It's rolling downhill now.
Yep, it sure is. The thing is, I don't feel our patriots are ready to take back our government. Most are too damn lazy to get up their recliners. Yeah, I'm talking to you, the people. I mean, I look at Facebook every day and I see several people who claim to be patriots, but all I do is grumble and complain about we should do something. The only problem is they have no plan of action to get going. So they continue to bitch and moan.
Can I interrupt on that?
Absolutely.
We are doing this to show you folks. If you don't think you have a path, follow what we're doing. Start the Independent Constitutional Party in your state. Like I said, next
Reach
week.
out to us on our email.
Yep. Next week, we are going to give you this verbatim. Next week, we're going to go over my speeches that I'm going to start my meetings with, and how I'm going to get into these neighborhoods. I got another friend of mine working on a plan to get the signatures I need to get on.
That's Jack running for state office.
Yeah, state office, state legislator. And I got my platform here. Dennis and Margaret gave me a lot of, I got to read that, put it on the shelf for a little while, but now here it is. Never leaves me. I start adding a little bit at a time because that's the way my brain works.
No comment.
Well, at least it still works every now and then. And we're going to show you how to do this. And like I said, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. The Independent Constitutional Party is going to be in South Carolina's ballot for as long as anybody wants to run under it. And your state can do the same thing.
Yeah, we're looking for people that want to run for office. They're tired of this two-party system. And we know there are millions of people out there that disagree with this party politics. They want to help. People want to help. They say it all the time, but they come up with excuses of why they can't. We all have busy lives. You do, I do, Jack does, Junior does.
No, Junior does.
Yeah, Junior does, because he's got the life I want. But you can't complain and sit on your ass. You must get up, get out of that damn house, and get involved. You know, we're not looking for a complainer who does nothing. We're looking for those complainers who want to get involved and make a better way of life for them and their families. Get involved or keep quiet. Get out there or sit on your ass. Tell your family you won, or tell your family why you didn't get involved because you were scared, because you wanted to sit on your ass on another recliner. You don't want to be in front of that idiot box that Jack calls so well.
It is an idiot box.
That's a TV, folks. See, we have a plan to make changes, and we'll keep on this plan until those changes are reality, the ones we need for our country. We need to move away from this tyrannical government. And it starts with you. It starts with Jack and I. It starts with Junior and Mike. The time to rise up is now. We say that every single week. You can't be afraid to get involved. We'll be your conduit. We will speak for you. You tell us what's on your mind. We'll cover it. The book, Politicians Gaslighting Americans, is by you. We wrote the book around you. Our politicians need to read this. America needs to read this. We want to wish Mike a speedy recovery. He was under the weather tonight. He's got a toothache. You know. And remember, always remember, you got something?
Nope.
Knowledge is power. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday. See y'all.
Good job.
That was really good.